These are homework problems. Mathscape Year 10 text, exercise 10.4, question 15D. A surveyor is standing at point X and observes a hill Y 19 kilometres away on a bearing of 307 degrees. So I'm going to put X here. I'm going to put my north sign there. So he's standing here at X, okay? He observes a hill 19 kilometres away on a bearing of 307. So I need to draw a bearing of 307. I've got 90, 180, 270, 307 will be somewhere around there. Like that. And that's Y over here somewhere. A second surveyor at Y looks at, a second surveyor standing at Y looks at a rock formation which is 21 kilometres away from Z. A second surveyor at Y observes a rock formation 21 kilometres away at Z, and Z happens to be due north of X. I'm going to extend this north line all the way up here, and this first one was 19 kilometres away. If it's 21 kilometres away, I don't think it would be down here. Do you understand? That would be too short. If that's 19, 21 would be more than likely up this direction there. So I'm going to put Z all the way up there. 21 kilometres. And I probably should even make it longer than that, but I just don't have the room to do it. Okay? So that's Mathscape, as I said, Year 10 text. I'm going to put my north sign up there. Now, I would have preferred to have drawn this a bit higher. See, if this is 19, the 21 needs to be longer, but I can't draw it much longer because I haven't got the room, okay? So, and this is Z. See, because Z is 21 kilometres away from Y, and Z is due north of X, okay? All right. It says find the size of angle YZX. In other words, you have to find this angle there. And hence find the bearing of Z from Y. Okay? So we're going to find that angle first. Now let's just see what else we've got. We know that this bearing is 307 degrees. So which angle could you find, girls? If from here all the way round to that line is 307, we're just short of, how much for all the way round? So what's this angle in here? 360 minus 307 is 53. This angle in here is 53. So I'm going to draw the triangle again with what I've got. This is what I've got. I've got 53 degrees down here. I've got 19. I've got 21, and I have to find this angle at Z. So this is obviously a use of the sine rule. All right? Opposites, opposites. Okay? So we're finding the angles. So how do I use the rule? A on sine A equals B on sine B? Or sine A on A equals sine B on B? Yeah, so I'm going to go sine theta over 19 equals what? Sine 53 degrees over 21. So therefore sine theta is sine 53 degrees over 21 times 19. Has anyone worked it out? Etc. dot dot dot. Now, you don't have to put the whole thing down. You just put your dot dot dot, meaning I know it continues. I'm not going to round it off. So therefore theta is sine to the minus 1 of that, which is, because sine of theta equals that. That's not the size of the angle. Sine of theta is 0.7. What does the angle equal to the nearest degree, please? 46 degrees. to the nearest degree. What was it actually? Okay, so 46 degrees to the nearest degree. Okay, so that's the size of that angle, 46 degrees. Okay, we've got to go back up to the top diagram again. Part of the question, they're asking you to find the bearing of Z from Y. I'm going to draw it all again. So I'm going to draw what I've got here. It looks like this. Now I'm going to move down. I've got Z, I've got X, I've got Y. I know that this angle up here is 46 degrees. I know that this angle down here is 53 degrees. This is what I've got. If you want the bearing of Z from Y, where do we start from? Y. We put a north sign at Y. And then where do we go? Clockwise. Until we find the line that Z is sitting on. Now, how are we going to find this angle? Yes, we'll do alternate here, and we've got 53. Oh, yeah. Alternate. It's 46. There you go. Very good. So therefore, sorry, but I mean, if you don't see that, you could have gone alternate here, but then you've got to do angle sum of triangle there. Do you know what I mean? And do 180 minus, but you don't need to do that. You don't need that. So what's the bearing? Remember, bearings are 3 figures. Bearing of Z from Y is 046 degrees. Just asking another question. Can you give me the bearing of X from Y as well? Of X from Y. Start from Y, go clockwise till you find X. It's that whole thing. How could you find that? You could do an angle sum of triangle, or that bit down here is good. That's another way. Yes, it is. So by alternate angles, this angle down here is 53. So the bearing of X from Y is 180 minus 53, which is 127. You could have done angle sum of triangle as well. Work that out and gone 46 plus that. Or you could do alternate and say 180 minus the 53. So there's a few different ways of doing it. Do people remember the trick? If you know the bearing of Z from Y is 46, 046, do you know the bearing of Y from Z? Without working it out. You're going to add or subtract 180 to this. Add. Okay? So if the bearing of Z from Y is 46, the bearing of Y from Z, watching, will be 180 plus 46. Okay? Girls. Just doing a few more bearings. The bearing of Y from Z, how would you work it out? You look at Z, north sign, go clockwise until you find the line that Y sits on. The bearing of Y from Z is 180 plus 46, which is 226 degrees. Notice it's the 180 degree difference to the bearing of Z from Y. Okay? I could also ask you the bearing of Y from X. You can use the diagram if you want, or you can just use the trick method, which is what? If the bearing of X from Y is 127, what's the bearing of Y from X? It's the opposite direction. Yeah, would you subtract 180 to that number? No. So it should be 180 plus that, which is 307. Let's have a look. The bearing of Y from X, have a look. Actually, they gave you that question in the question. They gave you that bearing in the question. Can you see it? But notice it's 307. It was given in the question up here. But notice the bearing of Y from X is 127 plus 180. This is just reinforcing that if you know the bearing one way, you actually automatically know the bearing the other way. Does that make sense? Which is 307 But girls, that was given to you in the question anyway. All right? The 307 is actually given in the question. All right? All right, we're just drawing the diagram for question 14b in the same exercise. Kim, who is standing at X, sees her brother standing at Y on a bearing of 231. So we start with X, put a north sign. We're going to go 231 degrees. So I've got 90, 180, 231 will be somewhere there. Okay, so Kim, who's at X, sees her brother at Y. I might just move my X for a minute. And that bearing is 231 degrees, and that point there is X. Okay? Kim's sister is standing at Z, which is due west of X. So Z somewhere along here. Look, north, south, east, west. So Kim's sister is at Z, which is due west of X, and it's on a bearing of 3. So the problem is, I know what your problem is, you don't know how far along you've got to go. All right? So it's along here somewhere, but it says that it's on a bearing of 342 from Y. So from Y, let's do a bearing of 342. We've got 90, 180, 270, 342's along here somewhere. So the bearing's 342. So that's how far along you go to Z. Z is on a bearing of 342 degrees from Y. Now, we're going to have to work out, so this is an east-west line, that's a right angle. So that is a 90-degree angle here. Now, because you know that's west and that's a 90-degree angle, we also know that all the way around here is 231. Okay, that bit's 231. You can now work out some angles in the triangle. So, girls, if we got 231 here and 90 there, do you know what this angle in here would be? It would be 360 minus 90 minus 231, which is 39. But we need to work out some more angles. We don't have, so if Kim's brother and sister are 48 metres apart, is that right? Or is it this one? Wait a sec. Kim's at X, her brother is at Y, and her sister's at Z. Kim's brother and sister are 48 metres apart. That distance there is 48. So you might want to label these. That's Kim. That's the brother. Who's the brother? Brother. There. Y chromosome. Sister. She should be X, but doesn't matter. This is 39. You can work out this angle or this angle. You've got enough information to do it. See how this is 342? Tell me what that bit in there is. Good, that's just that bit in there. So I'm going to extend my north line up, and that little bit in there is 18. Do you know how to work out either this bit over here or this bit? Because you can. Girls, you know how this is 231? I'm going to extend this line down. If that's 231, tell me what this bit in here is. Girls, this is a right angle, by the way. If that's 39, tell me what that is. Yeah, it is. Now, you could do that two ways. You can say that's 231, it's 180 plus 51. Or you can say this is north and that's east-west. Therefore, this is a right angle. That's 39, that's 51. You can do it a few different ways. Now, how can I work out this one here? Can you see parallel lines? Every time you've got north signs, they're parallel. North is north. There's only one north. So you can go alternate, that's 51. So therefore, that angle in there is 69. Girls, there is another way you could have done this. Anyone know how I could have directly worked this one out? That's right. You could have done it that way. There is another way. You could also, girls, you're allowed to throw in north signs wherever you want. You could also put another north sign. Why am I doing that? Because I've got north here. If I put another north here, tell me what the size of this angle down in here is. Okay. Yeah. No. Let's say I didn't know how to do this one. A lot of people might be confused about how to do that one. The other way you could have done it, I'm just showing you, is that this is also 18 if you put another north sign. If this is north, isn't this an east-west line? That's a right angle. You could have said these two add up to 90 as well. Do you get what I'm doing? So girls, you've really got to, the main thing, because this is an east-west line, makes the question a bit easier. All right? So this would be what? 72? Yeah. So we've just worked out every single angle in the triangle using a few different methods. Girls, every time you've got a position, you are allowed to put a north sign there. So what do I have? I actually have a triangle that looks like this with 39, 69, 72, and this is 48 meters. Now, the question is, how far is Kim, that's Kim, from her brother? They want you to find this distance. I'm going to call it D. Now, you don't need, so in actual fact, girls, we needed that angle because you're going to use which rule? Yeah, we're going to use the sine rule. So even if you did work this out, you'd have to work that one out anyway. So the opposites, please, and then you would work out how far Kim is from her brother. Okay? And which version of the formula are you going to use? Yeah, I know sine rule, but what? A on sine A equals B on sine B, or sine A on A equals sine B on B. That's right. You've got the side length that you want. You put it first. D over sine 72 equals 48 over sine 39 degrees. And then you can work it out. 48 over sine 39 times sine 72. I will zoom in a minute. 72.5 something, therefore it's 73 meters to the nearest meter.